there, Hanna, alongside Post Media's Bruce Garrioch, and we heard after morning skate that Brady Tkachuk is going to miss his third game of the season. The Ottawa Senators captain is out with an upper body injury. Bruce, how big of a blow is this to the team?
Well, we saw after the Four Nations face-off when he came back with that injury, Claire, that the Senators aren't the same team without Brady Tkachuk, and they didn't win those two games that they missed him then. I look at the situation right now, Claire, and I wonder, I look at Brady Tkachuk, and I just think that he's the guy, he's the straw who stirs the drink. He's the guy who leads them into battle every night. There is not the same physical presence without him. Quite frankly, I'm surprised that a guy like Dennis Gilbert wouldn't dress for this game, because losing Brady Tkachuk, you're missing your hit leader. I mean, he is the hit parade for this team, and I think you take him out of the lineup, and it's something that you just can't replace.
Now, Travis Green was open about saying that this upper body injury occurred to Brady Tkachuk when he had that collision with Ryan Graves in the second period against the Pittsburgh Penguins on Sunday. Now, Brady Tkachuk actually played in the third period over 5 minutes. So how long do you think Brady Tkachuk's going to be out for?
Well, my sense is, Claire, is that this is a day-to-day situation, not a month-to-month or some of the other things that we've seen. We didn't hear Travis Green say he's hopeful that Tkachuk will play on Thursday night against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Claire, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to try and play one on TV. But what does concern me is we know that Brady Tkachuk has been dealing with a hip injury, and he's been playing through a hip injury. And we know that he suffered some sort of lower body injury at the Four Nations face-off. So we know that he's banged up already. The playoffs are coming, and now you add an upper body ailment to what he's already going through, and he hasn't been quite the same. You know, you asked him last week if he was 100%, and he unconvincingly said that he is. Okay, we know that players play through injuries all the time, and especially at this time of year, nobody is 100%, but that's what concerns me, Claire, is he's already dealing with something, then you add an upper body injury to this. I don't know. I look at it, I say, you're better to just take your time.
Now, it's interesting because right now the Ottawa Senators are on their way to making the playoffs, but they still haven't clinched a spot. They still hold that first wildcard playoff spot. But given the fact that Brady might be out day to day, possibly longer, just how significant is that, especially this week?
Well, it is a pivotal week. I mean, the Buffalo Sabres are in here tonight, a team that they haven't beaten yet this season. Then you've got the Tampa Bay Lightning coming in. They lost two games to them in Tampa in February going into the break. You got the Florida Panthers coming here, who they've been kind of up and down against this year. This is a pivotal week for this team to book a playoff spot. Look, Claire, they'd have to completely collapse to not make the playoffs. Sportlogic says their chances are 99% right now. They would have to completely fall apart, and quite frankly, the teams behind them would have to get their acts together for them to lose to make the playoffs. So the fact is the Senators are going to make the playoffs. It's going to be a matter of time before they book that playoff spot. But losing Tkachuk doesn't make that job any easier when you've got a team like Buffalo that they've struggled with coming in.
And it's important to note that Angus Crookshank has been called up from Belleville. He'll be making his second game or playing of the year with the NHL club. Now, talking about Buffalo, they've had the Senators' number all season. This is their fourth meeting. The Buffalo Sabres, at the bottom of the Eastern Conference standings, have won all 3 previous meetings against the Senators. What do you think the issue has been for the Senators getting over the hump?
Well, I think it starts in net. I don't think they've gotten very good goaltending in any of the games against the Sabres this season. They started with Linus Ullmark in the first game. Anton Forsberg has played the last 2. Back to Ullmark tonight. And he has better numbers against the Sabres' lifetime than Ullmark does. But it needs to start in net with getting good saves. And then they have to do more 5-on-5 against this team. I don't think they've done enough 5-on-5 against the Sabres this season to be a real threat. Look, the Sabres are playing with house money right now. They have nothing to play for. You call it fool's gold down the stretch. They're making everybody think that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with going into next season. If we want to buy into that, sure. But I do think that this is 2 points that you have to get. Is it a must-win? No, nothing's a must-win. But I do think it's an opportunity to inch yourself a step closer to getting a playoff spot, and why not get the job done as quickly as possible?
And head coach Travis Green did confirm that Linus Ullmark will be starting in net for the Senators. Former Senator Josh Norris didn't make the trip with Buffalo, but Jacob Bernard-Docker will be playing and facing his former team for the first time at the Canadian Tire Centre tonight.